let us delve into the metaphysics of free will. You do not have free will. You think you have free will, but you do not have free will. Free will is an illusion. Free will is an illusion. The only way one would have a real version of free will is if they had enough knowledge and information. See, the more knowledge you have and the more knowledgeable you are, the more free you are. You see, freedom comes with a price, and that price is knowledge. So when it's taught that humans have free will and angels don't have free will and they're forced to submit to that particular God's will that they're up under, this is true. But the part that's left out is this. Humans were given free will based upon the way that humans were programmed, meaning that they could go right, they could go left. Free will was based upon the duality of the matrix, meaning that you have false choices here in the matrix that are illusionary choices. Like, for instance, color. Color is an illusion. So say, for instance, you say, I want a green car, or I want a red car, or I want a black car. These are all illusions. These colors are mere vibrations of the same thing. So when you deal with choices, in reality, there are no choices. Choices are only illusions. And to further go into that, when you talk about the angels not having free will, and you talk about certain ETs not having free will, what this means is that they already make their choice upon which side they're on. You see, in the universe, on the universal order of things, in the scheme of things, there's two sides. There's the disagreeable side, and then there's the agreeable side. And these sides for ETs are based upon nature, based upon their nature. So say, for instance, if an ET is considered a malefic, disagreeable type of being, then he would be on that side by his nature. By his nature now, meaning that he didn't choose this, or she didn't choose this particular being, didn't choose this with intelligence. This being was born into this structure, this order. And the same thing for an agreeable. Agreeable doesn't choose, agreeable angel doesn't choose to be that. They're born into that structure. But with humans, it's different. You see, with humans, it's a little bit different because humans were made neutral, meaning that humans were made intentionally with free will because that was the type of, I guess you could say, programming that humans needed in order for the Anunnaki to be able to program them correctly and work with them. See, if they had to give them a pre-selected nature, see, basically when you say one doesn't have free will, basically you're saying that they basically were born with the ready-made nature, and the decisions that they're going to make aren't going to be intellectual choices. They're going to be decisions that are made based upon their nature. But when you talk about free will, this is basically making decisions based upon an intellectual decision or choice. You see, so that's the difference or whatever. So humans were made that way so that humans would be able to actually be the most superior being here on the third dimension and going into the fourth dimensions now, and going into the fifth. Humans are basically this species that is in the universe called Homo sapiens, or humans, has the potential to be the best species in the universe because of the fact that they have free will, but it's an illusion. It's an illusion because of the fact that everything here in the third and fourth dimensions, because there's polarity in the fourth dimension too, are systems of illusions. See, they're systems of illusions. So, yeah, you have it, but then you don't, because most humans aren't programmed with the knowledge of how to use their free will. See, basically here in the Matrix, humans are programmed. When you go to college, I've talked about this in other videos, so I'm not going to belabor the point, but when you go to college, you're being programmed. When you go to church, you're being programmed. When you go to masjid or mosque or synagogue, you're being programmed. When you watch the news, you're being programmed. These are programs. This isn't intellectual. You see, it takes intellect to make the free will decision. So based upon this programming, you decide, say for instance, you need to go get some prescription drugs. And you have CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid. And you're programmed. So to you, this is free will. I got my free will to choose to go to either CVS, Rite Aid, or Walgreens. That's a multiple choice, which really equals no choice, as one of my masters used to always teach me. So that's a multiple choice, which is no choice. Multiple choice is no choice. So you still have no choice. You still haven't went down a certain, like, you still haven't utilized free will. I mean, you see, you think you've made a choice, but really they're pre-selected decisions already made for you, which isn't utilizing your intellect. This is why in schools and a lot of tests, they're even in tests in the 12th grade now, they're giving them multiple choice tests, A, B, C, D answers. And this is helping one to tune up and to fine-tune their intellect. Taking a multiple choice test and thinking and calling that intellectual because you have the answers memorized. Memory is cool, but memory is it's very low on the chain of intellect. You see, intellect is based upon reasoning and critical thinking. You see, and in school they're not teaching critical thinking anymore, so they're programming people. And this ties right into free will, so I'm not off of the point. So you have no free will because you've been programmed with multiple choice decisions, like a robot. You can either do this, that, and that. When a problem comes up, your little multiple choice box comes up, and you're like, I can either do this, that, or that. Which one do I want to do? And you choose one. And you think you have free will because you chose one. But you don't. Because if you had free will, you wouldn't, basically, it wouldn't be a multiple choice thing. It would be more of an intellectual thing, meaning that you could create a solution to your problem. And that's the part, beloved, that they don't want you to do. When I say they, I'm talking about those particular beings that have an invested interest in controlling you based upon your free will. See, the lower disagreeable entities have an invested interest in controlling you through your free will. So they don't want you to be able to make a choice. They don't want you to be able to basically make a creative choice, not a multiple choice not a multiple choice decision, but a creative decision. They don't want you to be able to do that. So they give you these ready-made solutions that are already available in the matrix, which doesn't utilize the creativity and the thinking outside the box. You see, a genius thinks outside of the box. And this is what makes a genius, and this is what makes them different. And this is what really utilizing true free will is. So one day, humans will learn how to use their free will. But right now, here in the Matrix, you have no free will. You do what the imps in the Matrix tell you to do. This is what people do. And when I say you, I'm speaking in general. So if it's not you, it's not you. I'm not talking to specific people, but if it's you, it's you. And most people do what people tell them to do in the Matrix. They do what was already prescripted for them by the Matrix. See, the Matrix has prescripts that they already have written out for people when they grow into age. You see, when they leave the state of being a minor or a minority, or being a minor or underage or under 18 years old and become a adult or adulterated. This is what the term adult means. It means to be adulterated. See, you become adulterated. You know what I'm saying? After you turn 18, they say, you're a grown man now, you're an adult. That means you're adulterated. You know, and adulterated means you're tampered with, you're diluted. You see? So this is the things that you need to understand. I mean, you have no free will. You have no free will, and until you begin to use your creativity and begin to think outside the box, you'll be trapped into this illusion of free will that even people in religions believe that humans have free will. You have no free will. Even in the fact of you making a decision, it's ready-made decisions. So you think you have free will, but the reptilians are smart. They know how you were programmed by the Syrians or the Anunnakis. They know that you were programmed in a way to where you can decide, because it's based on polarity conscious, and you live in a polarity conscious world, and you haven't been initiated into either. Your nature wasn't based on a disagreeable or agreeable, meaning that you have a choice to be a good or bad or disagreeable or agreeable. And really, disagreeable and agreeable is not really dealing with good and bad. It's not really dealing with good and bad, but good and bad is really terms that are based upon a person's perspective. But for the lack of a better word, I say good or bad. But really, disagreeable and agreeable are dealing with nature, simply. If something's violent and angry and that's his nature, then that's his nature. That's the way the universe made it. You see, if there's beings, which there are, that look like the predator, there's beings that look like the predator. And those particular beings that look like the predator are very aggressive and angry. And that's how the universe made them. So it's not evil. It's the way they were made. Dogs aren't evil. Vicious dogs aren't evil. It's the way they were made. It's the way the universe made them. So you have no choice. You have no choice. You have the illusion of choice when most people here in the Matrix think that they have a choice or whatever. I mean, even when it comes to the type of movies you want to see, you have no choice. You got to see what's out there, what they put out there. And you didn't vote for that to come out. You had no say-so on what comes out. You just choose what they give you. and you go off the programming that they give you. You have no choice of what comes on the news. You have no choice of what comes on television. You say, well, I can turn the channels and watch what I want to watch. No, what you watch on a different channel is the same shit on that channel. It's just a different actors and different storyline, but it's the same shit. See, that's what people fail to realize. Most of the stuff in this matrix is the same old shit. And they say when you do something over and over again expecting different results, that's a state of insanity. And the people in the matrix are insane, and those people that believe in it. So free your mind. Get free will. Break away from preconceived thought patterns and pre-constructed thought patterns, and be your own man and woman. So I'm going to leave you with peace and prosperity. For more information, visit my website at 13signsastrology.com.